So, Mighty Ducks Game Changers premiered its first episode on Disney Plus. I will be talking about each of the 10 episodes as they release week to week. And this is going to be a longer video than probably a majority of them because it's going to be my first impressions and what I thought of this episode. And if you want to know my thoughts on the trilogy of Mighty Ducks films and the animated series, yes, there was an animated series, you can check all those reviews out right now on this channel. Um, so I'm just going to go over my brief thoughts on them just for those who haven't watched the videos. I think the movies are fine. I'm not in love with them. I'm not like most adults who would probably be watching this show. I didn't like grow up on the trilogy. I watched them probably when I was about 12, 13 years old. And I enjoyed them fine enough. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about it. I enjoyed them fine enough. And yeah, when I heard they were doing a Mighty Ducks series, I was kind of like, I wasn't like excited about it, but I was like, I'll watch it because I have a channel. I cover Disney Plus content, and that's more Disney Plus content to cover. And yeah, and I should state off right off the bat with this first episode. It really does have the problem that the High School Musical series has. So the first season of the High School Musical series, they're doing a play version of High School Musical. Well, in the next season they can't do that because they've already done that. So they're going to be doing Beauty and the Beast, which that's not High School Musical, right? It's like, yeah, I mean, it is. It has like it's set in high school and it has music, but it's not really High School Musical, and that's the same thing with this show. The Mighty Ducks are in the show, but they're not really the focus of the show because basically we have this kid who's kind of a loser. He gets cut from the Mighty Ducks, and because he's been cut, he and his mom go out to create a team. And so he gets a team of people together and they start a team called the Nobodies. And the Mighty Ducks has become very corporate and very, we only choose the type of best. They're not like the fun 90s team that you remember from the old movies, which is kind of like, then why is this called the Mighty Ducks? Why couldn't this have been called the Nobodies and then like it'd just be a spin-off off the Mighty Ducks movies, right? Because it's still connected to it, but this isn't the Mighty Ducks, you know what I mean? And that's a little weird. But as a pilot, it's a fine enough show. I think if I was in the target demographic, I'd probably definitely really enjoy this episode. It's a well-paced episode. You know, I think the issue with some of these other Disney Plus shows that kind of skew a little bit younger, like High School Musical series and stuff, their pacing in those episodes are really bad, and they're kind of hard to jump into unless you're in the target demographic for that reason. This isn't like that. This is like a show I could imagine if I had like kids of my own or something. I'd like sit down and watch this, and it'd be fine, you know, because it's a fine show, and it's about, and I like Emilio Estevez in this episode. He really brings back the energy from the trilogy of movies. He does a great job within this, and he gives the best moments within this pilot. I don't know how much he's going to be in this series, but once again, he's still the heart and soul of this franchise. He does a great job, and I really loved his performance in this episode. I think it's a solid start to the series. It gives you a good angle to kind of where this is going. Kind of feels a little bit like Cobra Kai, where you're getting like, you know, you got this adult and their kid who are going and they're starting a dojo, getting people involved, and they're going to start, you know, competing in tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, it's not exactly the same. But I'm saying it feels a little bit similar. It kind of feels like that a little bit within there. But yeah, it kind of feels like that approach, but kind of like the Disney approach to it. So there's not going to be like the hardcore violence, the swearing, or any of the like drama or any of that stuff, you know. But but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It just means that it's like, you know, it's kind of a softer version of Cobra Kai with the Mighty Ducks. That's kind of what it feels like so far. But yeah, after watching this pilot, I can say I'm actually am more excited to watch the next episode because this pilot did a really good job at setting up where the show could go, kind of the interesting directions with it, kind of the fun characters we might see with it. And we could probably have some more fun with it. And I really enjoyed this pilot, and yeah. Also makes me optimistic about that Turner and Hooch series coming out in, I believe, July. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. So if you like this review, again, you can check out my review for the animated series, the Mighty Ducks trilogy, and subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of the reviews coming every single Friday. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all that, and I'll see you guys next time.